I said she grabbed my hand, girls rescue met the bar, witness said tears fled the head, I'm waiting, I guess she tweet, I guess she confess, she thinking less, not drinking less, bathroom says, best against, spontaneous, I stereotype, put to rest tonight, imagine, believe, and achieve, it works, Skyline as a rise like fireworks, smell through the bag, don't touch my purse.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to After the Storm. I'm your host, Matt Clark. We're talking about the Thunder versus the Hornets tonight. The Thunder fell short, 98-121, to the Charlotte Hornets at Charlotte. Our second game in a row that we did not fare well against a team that was much more athletic than us, and we did not match up well. The Thunder now 14-31. The keys to the game were simple. We got to get back on defense because Charlotte is a fast-paced, fast break type offensive team. The Thunder, we have to play within ourselves. I mean, I pretty much say this every game, but we got to play within ourselves. SGA has to get off a 5-star to help us, like everybody else doesn't have to play without themselves trying to make plays because we don't have enough guys who can make plays. But like I said, as he goes, he starts making plays, or Josh Giddey starts making plays, it loosens up everything else for everybody to play within themselves. So that was the key. We got to cut down on our mistakes. But the bottom line is we have to play perimeter defense. I mean, we just got to play good perimeter defense, not let them get to the basket, try to protect the paint by committee. That's guys coming over, trying to block, trying to do charges. And one thing I will say, I've wanted us to take charges. Now what I want to do is come back and say, guys, we got to learn how to take charges. I mean, my God. I mean, this is just, we cannot take charges. We got to learn how to do that. But I will say this, we are trying to take charges, but we got to do a better job of doing that. And, of course, our starting lineup was my favorite. SGA, Giddey, Robinson, Earl, Wiggins, and Dort. I think that has to be our starting lineup. Now, the biggest issue is when I look at the final score tally, is SGA had 29, Giddey had 21, Robinson, Earl had 12, Wiggins had 5, Dort had 3. That's not going to get it done for us, okay? So when you look at the first quarter, we started out, we're 4-0 against Charlotte Hornets thus far. Every time we play, we're 4-0. So we've been in our last 4 games. So we're doing a good job with them. But this year, they just came out and just bust us upside the head. Because they're just way too athletic for us. And then what I've noticed in the last 2 games is that we don't have enough athletic players who can keep up with their athletic players. We have a group of 5 that we get out there and we really compete, probably 6 guys, maybe 7, pretty much 6 that can actually compete who are athletic enough to stay against athletic guys. But the problem is when they come off the bench and start bringing off guys off the bench, that really just kills us. I mean, we just don't really have it. And like I've said, we got to have a rim protector. And we need a couple more shooters, but we got to get some guys who are quicker and more athletic so we can keep up with some of these teams because they just jump over us. They just go by us at will because we just don't have enough players. And like I said, we do have a good group that can keep up for a while, but the problem is that we just can't do it consistently. When you're going to get tired, when you're chasing guys around and you're trying to maintain their pace, well, the difference is they can go to the bench and get rest, and they bring in a couple guys who are just as athletic and not quite as good, but just as athletic as them, and then we run in trouble when we have to substitute and go to our slower foot guys. So we've got to work on that. But anyway, the Thunder, we settled down and we got on a nice run, and then we were up, and then all of a sudden, Dort took a couple threes. We got without outside of ourselves, outside of our capabilities. They went on a 9-2 run to close down, and then guess what happens after that? I mean, we just can't keep up. And like I said, once you start taking shots, long threes, what threes do, if you miss, long rebounds, long shot, long rebound. That's the way it is. They caught the ball, got in transition against us. We could not be able to cover up against that. They start making shots and then start making threes. And that same thing with us. When we get out in transition and we start making some layups, and I saw where we had 24 fast break points, well, that's fine over a period of the game. That's great. But the problem is you can't finish at the basket, which we've talked about over and over and over. You have to finish at the rim. We did not do that tonight. We did not finish at the rim. I want to say that we probably left, probably 15, 20 points left on the court that we just could not score. SGA missed some puppies. Robinson Earl missed some shots. Giddey missed some shots. We just didn't have enough, okay? I mean, that's quite frankly what ended up happening. But we were down 20 the 37 to end the quarter. And once again, remember we gave up 37, 37, 37. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter against the San Antonio Spurs, and then we give up another 37. That's 4 quarters in a row we've given up 37 points. And that's simply because guys, they're just way more athletic than we are. I mean, and our guys, the athletic guys that we try to keep up, they get tired. And I don't care who you are, you've got to get some rest. If you try to stay and play the whole quarter, you're in trouble. And that's exactly what happened. Then we look at that when they shot 65% for the quarter. 65%, that's unacceptable, guys. It's unacceptable. But what I was trying to say is that we do, and like I said, we do have a good team. I love the nucleus of what the Thunder has to offer. It's not like we're scrubs. We've got some players, but we're just 3 or 4 players short of what we need to be able to compete on that level. Okay? But overall, I mean, we've got some good players. We've got some good pieces. But in the second quarter, we come out, and what do we have to do? You have to defend. You got to force them into taking some bad shots. But the problem is, once a guy gets in a groove, he's going to shoot a fadeaway three, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. You're all over him, but he done got into a groove now. He just got into rhythm. And when they get into rhythm and they start making shots, I don't care who you are, you're not going to stop them. Okay? That's just the way it is. That's basketball. Especially on that high level like that, they're going to make the shots that they need to make. In the second quarter, we're missing wide open shots. We're aggressive. We're missing point blank shots in the paint. And you can't do that, okay? And, and like I said, we got Kendrick Williams back, and I love that kid. I don't love him. I like him a lot. And he did a really good job of coming off the bench, and he made a couple good plays, and it was nice having them. But, the problem is they were more physical and more athletic than we are. We're just not physical enough, and we're not athletic enough overall to be able to compete with them for 48 minutes. So we're going to have to get taller, and we're going to have to get more physical, and we're going to have to, because we're more of a finesse team than we are a physical team. So we got to get a little bit more physical. We got to be able to get somebody that can put us in the middle. And Diakite, I really like him. I like that guy a lot. I really, really like him, and he's going to come in. He's going to offer some minutes, and he's on a 10-day. We'll probably sign him to another 10-day because we got to have some sort of inside presence. Somebody's physical, and he is that. And he's lacking necessarily the tools that it's going to take to really be able to compete or be what we really need him to be, Diakite. But I like the kid, okay? And I think he's showing some promise, and we're going to have to make a decision at some point because now he's developing tape, and teams are starting to see this kid. And if we don't take him, somebody's going to end up snatching this kid and offering him a contract, not only to keep him away from us, but to add to their team. And but anyway, I like the kid. He adds a certain presence and adds a certain physicality to our team that we need inside the paint to be a little more physical. But anyway, we were 2 for 14 from 3. That just doesn't get it done. I mean, it just doesn't get it done. And then the Hornets are they're just doing what they got to do. They're doing what they got to do. But, we, on the other side, we're shooting threes. And I know that's the philosophy. I don't really understand it because we don't have three-point shooters, but that is our philosophy. Our philosophy is we're going to shoot the three. Like, I don't have any problem if we get in the rhythm like SGA tonight. He shot a 3, then came right back, okay, and shot another 3 in transition. I love transition threes, okay, because you're in a groove, you're moving, you're in rhythm, you pull up. First shot short, second shot short. What does that tell me? When a shot is short, your legs are gone. That's the first thing. And then when you look at the Hornets and you look at what they got, what did they do? They rebuilt, and for a guy, Ball had a horrible game tonight. But what they did is you come off, you got Gordon Hayward, you got Terry Rozier from the Celtics because the Celtics need to unload. They had too many players, too many guys, not enough balls, and not a lot of players. So they shipped some guys off. And Jordan swooped those guys up, and look what they've done. Okay? What he did is he added veterans along with his young, talented players, which stabilized them, which is something that we should probably look at, adding a couple veteran players who can still play, and then add in with the young players. Because, listen, guys, I was talking to someone tonight when we were at Ash Cigar Lounge. We were talking about this smoking cigars. They go, Matt, I was a season ticket holder. Now I'm not. I said, listen, our team is good. Our team has ability. We have some things. We're not far off. We're really not. Okay? It's not like we're a bunch of scrubs. Yeah, we're 14-31, but we've lost probably 6 games that we probably had an opportunity to win and didn't get it done down the stretch because of our youth and not having enough senior leadership to kind of help us get over that point. This is what we need to make a play. This is how you make a play. This is what you got to do. You got to do this. We don't really have that. And they added Gordon Hayward and they added Terry Rozier, which really helped them immensely bring some stability and some leadership and some senior guys to their team, which allowed because both of those guys can still play. And Terry Rozier just ate us up. So did Gordon Hayward because they both can still play, and we don't have that. Okay, so our general manager has to make a decision. If we're gonna go young, that's fine. But you've got to get some more talented players. You got to get some guys who are way more athletic. And going over to Europe and getting these guys, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call you out, even though I am a little bit. You got to stay away from over there. We got to regroup what we're doing. If that's our philosophy, we're going to try to have San Antonio go get some European players. We don't have Popovich as our coach. So you can't model our franchise after their franchise. We don't have Popovich. They do. He can do things that our coach can't do. Coach D is really good. Coach Dagnall is really good. He's learning, and he's getting better, and he's doing a fantastic job. I think even though I have a lot of people who don't like him, I still think he's doing a fantastic job with what he has to offer. So anyway, you look at what we did, and we were down 52 to 69 at halftime. Okay, 5 for 20 from three. They were 10 for 23. We were 15 for 27 from mid-range, from field goal percentage. They were 16 to 24. We were equal in the paint 30-30. We had 14 fast break points. They had 26. Now, what that's telling me is transition defense wasn't our forte tonight in the first half. And like I've always harped about, people get on my case about screaming about transition. Transition is so important because leading to transition to fast break points are nice, but what transition does, it gets you in that deal, and it starts in the defensive end. Okay? But when you get behind a lot, you burn so much energy trying to get back in the game. What it does is it breaks you down and it gets you, exhausts your legs, and then at the end of the game, you just don't have it to make it done, to catch up. So anyway, the Thunder came out in the third quarter. We missed 2 layups right off the bat, or 3 layups. 2 by Dort, 1 by SGA. Okay? But then what happened? We stayed aggressive. Giddey made a couple shots. Then we got in the group. Williams made a couple shots. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. We're back in the game. We're down 73 to 82, down 9, after being down 23 at some points in that third quarter. And we were down 73 to 82 with 3 minutes and 29 seconds left. Okay? And then, like I talked about earlier, SGA missed a 3, comes back, misses another 3. Both of them wide open, but both of them short. What does that mean? He's spending so much energy chasing these guys around, trying to be physical, chasing ball. He just got exhausted, and he just lost his legs. Okay? You can't, he was just playing so much because you have to have him out there simply because we're not athletic enough when we go to the bench. But you got to give the guy a break. But he was just exhausted. I mean, let's just call it what it was. And we got to make shots at the rim. We were missing shot after shot after shot at the rim, and they went on an 11-2 run to end the third quarter, 75-93. I'm just telling you, I love our team. I had the same misgivings as everybody else has at the beginning of the season. I went to a few games before I started doing my live stream. I started looking at them. I'm like, hey, you know what? Hey, my eye test. I don't do the analytics crap. My eye test. I go by what I see. And I'm pretty good at diagnosing and looking at players and saying, this is what's wrong, this is what you need to fix, and so on and so on and so. That's what I'm very, very good at that. And what I saw is, man, we've got some pieces. We're not that bad. And we have exceeded what I thought we were going to be at this point. But like I said, we're 14-31, okay? And by all rights, I should think we should be around 20-26. Somewhere around there is what I feel we should be. 21-26, 20 or 27. Somewhere around there is where we should be. Okay, I don't think we should be where we are. I really don't. I think that we have 5 or 6 games that we left out there that we had a chance to win, but like I said, we just don't have enough pieces to get us over the hump when we get there. Okay, so we've got to improve our bench, and I looked at a stat tonight about 28 points about the bench. Meaningless points. Okay, When you're down 73 to 82, down 9 with 3 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the quarter, and they go on 11-2 run, what that tells me is our bench couldn't come in and maintain because you couldn't sub them in. So they made shots here and there, granted, no question about that. But there's a difference between making shots and making meaningful shots. There's a difference between somebody having 30 points and having 30 meaningful points. I'd rather have a guy have 16 and 8 assists and 7 rebounds or 6 rebounds, but they're meaningful points. They're meaningful rebounds. They're meaningful assists. That is what I would rather see than just somebody coming out and you looking at the stats and goes, oh, look what he did. Please miss me with that, all right? So down 75-93 going to the fourth. And this is going to sum up the way I look at our team. A, we're not athletic enough to keep up with some of these teams. Tonight, we couldn't dribble. We couldn't pass. We couldn't make shots at the rim. We couldn't make threes. We can't defend. We couldn't defend the perimeter, and we couldn't defend the paint. Now, Josh Giddey did a great game. He had his career high of 21 points, and he played pretty good. But when they go 17 from 49 from 3 and 28 from 50 as a field goal percentage, okay, we go 12 of 44 and 25 of 53. Now, 25 of 53, that's really good shooting, considering I don't know how many points we left out there. Okay? I don't know how many points we left out there. But 25 of 53. So what that's telling me is that we continue to shoot a high percentage of shots inside the three, but we continue to shoot threes. And when you're shooting 27%, 26%, 25%, 22%, 30%, you're not going to beat teams. You're just not. Especially when you're giving up 17 for 49 and 28 for 50, you're not going to beat anybody. You're just not. So what does that tell me? You got to get more athletic. You got to find somebody to be more physical in the paint. And you got to find some shooters. Those are 3 things that we need. Other than that, we've got a nice piece of 5 or 6 players. I like those 5 or 6. I really do. After that, we're a little wanting. And that's why you're going to continue to get beat. That's why, but that being said, hey, we're not that bad. I'm not unhappy with our squad. I'm not unhappy with our team. I'm not unhappy with what we're doing. I just wish that we had more of what we have in the good pieces. I wish we had a few more of them. So you're either going to have to go in the draft this year and get you some players, or you can trade for us. We have tons of draft picks. So you either draft or trade and get you some veterans who can play and stop getting these guys that you keep on and you get rid of their salary. Derek Favors, Oladipo, on and on and on and on. You get these guys and you trade them out or you buy them out and they move on to somebody else. We have to figure it out. What do we want to do? The people in Oklahoma City want to win. We got spoiled over a 7 to 8 year period when we had Durant and we had Westbrook and we had Ibaka and then we had Harden for that little bit. But we got spoiled, especially when you have the best player in the NBA playing in your city, a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent in Kevin Durant, who you let go because you chose somebody else over him. And he's like, really? You going to pick that guy over me? And at that time, he was the second best player because LeBron was the best player at that time. And you pick somebody else. And it cost you. So now you got to rebuild. Fine. You got SGA. Love that kid. Traded for him. We got him. Okay? You got Giddey in the draft. Like him. You got Trey Mann. Like him. You got Wiggins. Like him. You got Dort. You like him. But Dort is not a scorer. Dort is a defender who can get you some points here and there. But trying to turn him into our third guy, he's a scorer, he's not going to get the job done. He does not have the abilities at this point. Now, does that say he won't? No, I'm not saying that. But now, at this point, he's not the guy that you're trying to turn him into be. He's not. Now, by playing and by doing this, can he get better? No question. If that's your deal, what you're trying to do, then that's fine because you're going to lose games trying to make him into a player. Now, if you're going to do that, then you got to sign it. But I don't see that. I don't see him doing that. He could possibly do it, but I don't see it at that point right now. So, that being said, Thunder lost again. 98-121. Second game in a row that we played against a team who was way more athletic than us, and it absolutely showed. It absolutely showed. But once again, I am very proud of our team. Like I said tonight when we were at the cigar bar at Ash, hey, guys, we're not that bad. Go support the team. Have everybody else go support the team. I know there's 15 or 20 guys that I know who aren't season tickets holders anymore because they got out of the habit of going. They don't know who the team is. They're like, well, we're trying to lose. We're not trying to lose. I don't believe. Last year we were trying to lose without question, but I don't think we're trying to lose. Okay? So let's go get your tickets. Go support the team. And remember, going to an NBA game is an experience. It's fun. It's something you do, okay? It's an experience for you, your wife, your kids, you and your buddies. It's a fun deal. Let's go back to that, okay? Let's go back to building our house the way it used to be. Because remember, we're one of 30 teams, 30 cities that have a team. You understand how lucky we are? Oh, downtown is boomed. Midtown is boomed. All that stuff is boomed. You talk about maps, you're an idiot. It's because you have an NBA franchise that allows you to have some cachet. It allows you to go, hey, so people want to be involved. They want to go to games. It allows tourism. It has a bunch of other side effects by having a team. So don't kid yourself. Understand what you have. And you can go support them and go to games and watch somebody else, whatever. But we're going to get there. I believe that. But it's either got to be through the draft or through trades or both. I suggest both. Go out and continue. You got SGA. You went out and got a nice draft, got Giddey. But guys like Baisley and stuff, you got to get away from guys who can't shoot at 6'8", 6'9". He can't defend. He can't shoot. What's that going to do for you? Nothing. Do I like the kid? He seems like a nice young man, but he ain't the guy we need. He ain't the guy that you thought he was. So whatever scouting people we have, you need to rethink what we're looking for. Because if you're playing against athletic teams and you're drafting guys who aren't athletic and who can't keep up, not going to happen. You're going to continue to lose. So, Thunder, that is my suggestion to you guys. Do what you want to do, but I'm going to continue to support you. I'm going to continue to tell people to come. I'm going to continue to encourage people to go watch you and support the team because I understand how great it is to be one of 30. Something we never thought when we built the Ford Center in the first place, we never thought we'd get a team. We hoped. But what God did, God got the hurricane. Sorry for the people who passed away in New Orleans and all that. That's a horrible tragedy. But it gave Oklahoma City a chance to get a team to show the NBA and the world that Oklahoma City is classy enough. There's enough money. We know how to support a team, and we got one. So now that you have one, don't get your head in because we're losing and don't go support the team. Let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that. So anyway, sorry about my rant. I'm done. But anyway, Thunder lost, falling to 14-31 to the Hornets tonight. Play the Cavaliers on Sunday at Cleveland in our last of our 4-game streak. And then, of course, Monday night we have a game at home against the Bulls. So anyway, I hope everybody comes back. I hope you enjoyed this show. Thank you for watching After the Storm. I'm your host, Matt Clark. Peace out.